Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to share something that might just change the way you see your journey, your struggle, and your success. There are moments in life when everything seems to push you back, when doors close, when opportunities slip through your fingers, and when people tell you, you're not good enough, you're too late, or this isn't for someone like you. But let me tell you something powerful. Every single person who ever made it big, who ever built something that changed lives, heard those same things. The difference? They didn't listen. There are places in life. Fear is something everyone experiences. It whispers in our ears during moments of uncertainty, shouts at us when we stand on the edge of something new, and tightens its grip whenever we try to step outside our comfort zone. Fear in itself is not the enemy. It's a natural human response, a signal designed to keep us safe. But the real danger begins when fear is no longer a signal, but a barrier. When it stops being a momentary feeling and starts becoming a way of life, it silently begins to control the direction we take, the risks we avoid, and the dreams we delay or abandon altogether. Many people have incredible potential, powerful ideas, and dreams that could change not only their own lives but also the lives of others. But they remain stuck, not because they lack talent, intelligence, or resources, but because fear keeps them locked in place. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of what people will say, fear of being alone in their pursuit. These fears create invisible chains, stronger than steel, holding people back from doing the very thing they were born to do. The irony is that what we fear most often never happens. Or when it does, it doesn't destroy us, it strengthens us. Failure doesn't mean the end, it means learning. Embarrassment doesn't mean you're broken, it means you dared. Being alone doesn't mean you're wrong, it means you're leading. The people who achieve great things don't do so because they are fearless. They do so because they feel fear and choose to move forward anyway. Every person you admire, every story of success you've heard, has this one thing in common: someone decided not to be ruled by fear. That decision is the true turning point in any journey. Because once fear stops dictating your choices, you begin to open doors that you never saw before. You start to speak up when you used to stay quiet. You apply for things you once thought were out of reach. You start building instead of only dreaming. You begin to take steps, clumsy at first, uncertain, shaky, but steps nonetheless. And each step weakens the grip of fear just a little more. It's important to understand that fear won't vanish overnight. It's not something you defeat once and never face again. It shows up in every new level you reach. A new idea? Fear will question it. A bold move? Fear will second-guess it. But the difference is how you respond. Do you allow fear to sit in the driver's seat of your life? Or do you acknowledge it, hear it, but keep your hands firmly on the wheel? You see, greatness lies on the other side of fear, and it's not as far away as it seems. That conversation you've been avoiding, it could change everything. That application you haven't submitted because you think you're not qualified, it could open the door to a new world. That business idea, book, song, project, whatever it is that's burning inside you, it's waiting for you to stop asking fear for permission and start giving yourself a chance. When you stop letting fear control your decisions, you don't become reckless. You become free. Free to try, free to fail, free to learn, free to succeed, and most importantly, free to be yourself. Because the greatest tragedy isn't trying and failing. It's never trying at all. It's staying safe, staying hidden, staying silent, and waking up one day wondering what could have been if fear hadn't been in control. The world needs your voice, your vision, your energy, but you have to show up for it. Even if your voice shakes, even if your hands tremble, even if the road looks unclear, you'll never know your full strength if you never step into the unknown. And the only thing keeping you from that next step might just be fear dressed up as logic. So feel the fear, but don't obey it. Listen, but don't follow. Let it speak, but never let it lead. Because your life, your dreams, and your future are far too valuable to hand over to fear. There comes a time in every journey where the path grows difficult. When nothing seems to be working, when the results don't match the effort, and when the voice inside your head starts whispering that maybe it's time to stop. These moments are some of the most defining points in a person's life. Not because they are loud or dramatic, but because they test what you're made of. It's easy to keep going when things are going well, when people support you, when you see progress. The real challenge is continuing when the world is quiet, when you're tired, and when nothing is giving you a reason to keep pushing. Many people quit just before they see a breakthrough. They stop just a few steps before success would have revealed itself. Not because they weren't capable or smart or strong, but because the struggle convinced them it was pointless. The truth is, anything worth building will test your patience. It will stretch your limits, challenge your beliefs, and demand your persistence. The moment you feel like giving up is often the moment the process is doing its deepest work in you. Not around you, but within you. Endurance is not about showing strength when it's easy. It's about showing up when everything in you wants to walk away. It's about waking up one more day and choosing to try again, even when yesterday was a failure. It's in those quiet, lonely moments of decision that growth takes place. The real transformation isn't visible in the beginning. It builds slowly, quietly, behind the scenes, in every effort, in every setback, and in every decision to keep going when quitting would be so much easier. You may think you've reached the end of your rope, but you haven't. You've reached the end of your comfort, and that is exactly where progress begins. Giving up doesn't make the pain go away. It just exchanges one kind of pain for another, the pain of wondering what if. There is no escaping difficulty in life, but you get to choose whether that difficulty comes from building something meaningful or from living with regret. Success is not about talent alone. It's not just about intelligence or connections. It's about consistency. It's about the refusal to quit. The people who eventually win aren't always the fastest or the most gifted. They're the ones who kept going after others stopped. They're the ones who were willing to try again after every failure. They showed up again and again until eventually something worked. If you give up every time it gets hard, you'll keep starting over again and again. But if you endure through the hard parts, you'll start building momentum that carries you further than you ever imagined. Persistence compounds. Each time you resist the urge to quit, you grow stronger. Each time you push through doubt, you gain confidence. It doesn't always look like progress, but the foundation is being laid for something solid, something real. There is power in simply not giving up. There's a quiet strength in being the kind of person who doesn't back down in the face of adversity. That kind of resilience can't be taught in a classroom or bought in a store. It's earned in the trenches of real life. It's earned when the odds are against you, when nothing is guaranteed, and when everything feels heavy. But you keep moving anyway. People may not see your effort. They may not understand your drive. They may even question your choices. But what matters most isn't what they think. It's what you believe. Do you believe your dream is worth it? Do you believe your future deserves the fight? If the answer is yes, then you owe it to yourself to keep going. You owe it to the part of you that first dared to dream. So hold on. Even if your progress feels slow, even if your results feel invisible, even if the finish line seems far, because every step forward, no matter how small, is movement. And as long as you're moving, you're not stuck. You're not done. You're still in the fight. And sometimes just staying in the fight is what leads to victory. The road is long, but you're not alone. Countless others have stood where you stand now, and the only reason their stories inspire you is because they didn't give up. One day, your story could do the same for someone else. Keep going, not because it's easy, but because you are stronger than the struggle. In a world that constantly compares, labels, and measures people against one another, it's easy to forget the power of being different. From a young age, many are taught, directly or indirectly, that fitting in is the safest path. Blend into the crowd, follow the rules, don't make too much noise. But the truth is, no one ever made history by copying someone else. The greatest ideas, the biggest changes, and the most inspiring lives were shaped by people who dared to stand out. People who embraced who they were, not who they were told to be. There's a deep pressure in society to conform. People will try to put you into a box, define your limits, and expect you to stay within the boundary. Yes, they feel comfortable with. But those boundaries are not your truth. You are not here to live someone else's version of life. You are not meant to walk a path just because it's been walked 1,000 times before. You are here with a unique combination of thoughts, talents, passions, and perspectives, and that uniqueness is your greatest advantage. The danger of trying to be like everyone else is that you start to lose touch with who you really are. You begin to silence your ideas if they sound too unusual. You start dressing, speaking, and acting in ways that are acceptable rather than authentic. And slowly, you start to disappear, not physically, but mentally and emotionally. You become a watered-down version of your true self, trying to gain approval from people who may never truly see you. Living this way may feel safe for a while, but eventually, it catches up. There's a quiet discomfort that grows when you deny your own voice. A restlessness that no achievement or praise can settle. Because deep down you know you're not being honest with yourself. The cost of blending in is often the death of original thought, creativity, and joy. Yet when you decide to embrace who you are, fully and unapologetically, something powerful happens. The world begins to shift around you. People may not understand you at first, some might criticize or reject you, but you will also begin to attract those who resonate with your truth. You'll connect with people not through masks, but through mutual authenticity, and those are the strongest, most lasting connections. There is no formula for being remarkable. There is no template for being memorable. The people who truly make an impact don't follow a script, they write their own. That doesn't mean the journey will be easy. In fact, being different often means facing more resistance. You might be misunderstood, doubted, or even laughed at, but those are just signs that you're breaking new ground. People often laugh at what they don't understand until they can't ignore it anymore. You don't need permission to be yourself. You don't need validation to pursue what excites you or to express what you believe. Your path doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. It only needs to make sense to you. The sooner you stop trying to be like everyone else, the sooner you'll find what truly belongs to you. Opportunities, relationships, and breakthroughs that align with who you are will only appear when you show up as yourself. Your uniqueness is not a flaw, it's your edge. It's what makes your work different, your perspective valuable, and your presence unforgettable. Every time you choose to honor your individuality, you strengthen your confidence. And confidence isn't arrogance. It's the quiet certainty that being yourself is enough. There's no greatness in imitation. Following someone else's footsteps may bring temporary comfort, but it won't bring long-term fulfillment. You were never meant to be a copy. You were meant to be an original. And originals change the world, not by trying to impress everyone, but by staying true to their own vision, even when it's hard. So, speak with your own voice, think your own thoughts, walk your own road. It may not always be popular, but it will always be yours. And at the end of the day, the most powerful thing you can ever be in this world is exactly who you are. Progress is often invisible in the moment. When you're in the middle of working toward a goal, especially one that truly matters, it's easy to feel like you're going in circles, like nothing is happening. You might be showing up every day, putting in the time, the energy, the late nights and early mornings, but the results aren't immediate. There are no applause breaks, no signs that say, you're almost there. And that's where most people start to slow down. They look around, they see little to no movement, and they begin to believe it's not working. But the truth is, it's working more than you realize. The difference between people who succeed and people who don't is often nothing more than the decision to keep going. Not because everything makes sense, not because they're certain, but because something inside tells them to keep showing up. That quiet, stubborn part of a person that refuses to quit. That's where success is born. Momentum doesn't come from occasional effort. It comes from consistency. And consistency is built one step at a time, especially when it feels like the steps don't matter. You don't build a legacy overnight. You build it through invisible victories, the ones no one sees, the moments when you could have quit but didn't. The days you chose discipline over comfort, the nights you worked while others slept. These are not glamorous moments, but they are the most important, because this is where strength is built. This is where resilience forms. Every time you keep going, even when it doesn't feel worth it, you're building something powerful inside of you. It's tempting to think that success is about luck or timing, that some people just catch the right wave or know the right person. But more often than not, success comes to those who simply stayed in the game longer than others, those who outlasted the doubt, who kept improving while others gave up, who chose patience over pressure. You can't always control the speed of your results, but you can control your effort. And if you keep showing up, eventually, the results will catch up with you. Too many people stop when they feel stuck. But feeling stuck isn't a signal to quit. It's a sign that you're about to grow. It means you're hitting the edge of your current capacity. And that discomfort you feel, that's your next level inviting you in. The breakthrough due. You don't build a legacy overnight. You build it through invisible victories. The ones no one sees. The moments when you could have quit but didn't. The days you chose discipline over comfort. The nights you worked while others slept. These are not glamorous moments, but they are the most important. Because this is where strength is built. This is where resilience forms. Every time you keep going, even when it doesn't feel worth it, you're building something powerful inside of you. It's tempting to think that success is about luck or timing, that some people just catch the right wave or know the right person. But more often than not, success comes to those who simply stayed in the game longer than others, those who outlasted the doubt, who kept improving while others gave up, who chose patience over pressure. You can't always control the speed of your results, but you can control your effort. And if you keep showing up, eventually the results will catch up with you. Too many people stop when they feel stuck. But feeling stuck isn't a signal to quit. It's a sign that you're about to grow. It means you're hitting the edge of your current capacity. And that discomfort you feel? That's your next level inviting you in, the breakthrough due.